Straight facts, no chaser. I told you guys I was going to make a video as to why Candace Owens could never be invited to the cookout. Her video with PragerU about slavery, teaching our kids and the world this slanted bullshit. Yeah, I'm about to break it down in 5, 4, 3, 2, let's go.
And now for a brief history of slavery. Here's the first thing you need to know. Slavery was not invented by white people. It did not start in 1619 when the first slaves came to Jamestown. It existed before then.
Stop right there. She said slavery wasn't invented by white people. You see invented in quotation marks. Nobody ever said white people invented slavery. What the fuck does that got to do with there being chattel slavery in America created by white Europeans? You see how she's out here generalizing slavery. We know slavery wasn't created by white people. Why? Because it's in the Bible. And the Bible is not about white people. It's about people of color. Jesus was not white. Shock, huh? Well, then get the fuck up out of your shock. Facts are facts. You can look in the Bible. It literally says that the hair looked like wool and feet bronze. Where the fuck have you seen a white person with a bronze foot? That's what I thought. So why are you telling people the generalities of slavery? I'll tell you why. Because white racist people want to blame black people and people of color for the invention of slavery. So therefore, they're not at fault for taking part in something that people of color created. No, you don't get to exonerate yourself from what you did in America just because somebody else did it somewhere else. Those people are dealing with those people's problems. America's dealing with America's problems. So keep your fucking generalities. Let's speak about chattel slavery. Fuck slavery altogether, because guess what? There are 5 forms minimum of slavery. Chattel slavery was America's hell. And trust and believe, other countries tried chattel slavery as well, but not like America perfected that shit. And that's what we're dealing with. So these generalities are trying to water down, whitewash what happened. Take a little of the sting, the guilt away from white people and put it on other people of color. Now, fuck that. Let's push Candace aside and let's speak to the racist white puppet masters that's got her out here speaking. Take responsibility of what you did in this country. We're not worried about what the fuck happened in other countries. This one is where you face up to your fuck ups. Don't try to push them off on everybody else. Those forms of slavery are not the same as America's evil form of slavery. Now let's get to the 5 different forms of slavery, seeing as how you guys don't really want to fucking educate. You want to obfuscate. Put it on somebody else's shoulders. You weak motherfucker should take your responsibility like a man. Instead, you act like a little bitch. Let's get it. There are a minimum of 5 forms of slavery. One being debt slavery. It's also called indentured servitude. The second form is the enslavement of war captives. Very much self-explanatory. Third, military slavery. Simple enough. Fourth, criminal slavery. What they did to black people once they were set free. Create Jim Crow laws so that we would be breaking the law just by existing outside of their plantation to get us back on it for free by being criminals this time. That's what criminal slavery is. And the 5th, chattel slavery. Even chattel slavery itself was split because chattel slavery in other countries was not the same as it was in America. Now, when she says slavery wasn't created by white people, she's talking about those other forms of slavery. But she's mixing them together. Why? Because her white masters told her to do so. Because she was reading off of shit and she wasn't dealing with actual fucking facts. Only with white feelings. What do I say about white feelings? Fuck them! That's what I say. Deal with the facts. We all can deal with our feelings on some shit. But the facts are, in a new world, which is now called North America, United States, white people created chattel slavery. Yes, they did. They brought it here. And their form of chattel slavery is not the same as other countries that use chattel slavery. That's the facts. Go look them up. I challenge you. What Candace Owens and PragerU is trying to spew is combining all variations of slavery into a generality. That way they can escape responsibility for their version of slavery. Chattel slavery was one of the most horrific forms of slavery. It was masterfully put together, laws built around it. Did you know Hitler copied slavery in America? No other form, America's form. They studied it just so they can do to the Jewish people what they had done to black people. Yeah, that's true history. But what PragerU and Candace is trying to do is conflate everything. So therefore they don't have responsibility for their version of slavery in history. And that's why I would never fuck with PU. I fuck with facts, straight facts, no chaser. Fuck your feelings. This concludes part 1 of breaking down Candace Owens and PragerU's video about the history of slavery. There's so many more lies and half-truths that I have to fix. So look out for part 2. Peace.